Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have EVELYNN vs Kayn. It is time, my friends. Rise, you farming sequences. Because the leeches, the spam gankers, the unskilled pathers, the people who just inflated themselves with Maokai, those days are gone. They've either been nerfed directly and or affected by the changes that came through this patch, or both in the case of Maokai and Elise. EVELYNN, though, was great before because of camouflage and visibility and just being able to, gank and no one ever respects you. However, she's going to be even better now because the golden experience, in the jungle. However, she's going to be even better now because the golden experience in the jungle that will get you that advantage over, say, regular gankers is once more the way to go. Now, I did record this before a little bit, and I had a bit of a different game to go on, but it ended up being not so good, so I'm going to retry with this one. The Kayn here is interesting because he does Raptors, Krugs, Red. This allows him now to flex into the Wolves, Gromp, Blue for better sequencing, whereby you can gank bottom lane, take this, resetting a boom, 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 super efficiently for a fast 6. And don't forget, my jungle improvement PDF is still free and will always be free on my website, virkayu.gg. You can just download that by entering your email, of course. And we have the silver course out and the gold course out. Diamond course will follow, the platinum course will follow, along with the bronze course next Friday. So get all of your jungle courses from virkayu.gg, everything you need to know to climb through your ELO and your MMR, as well as our one-on-one coaching and our coaching VOD library. Virkayu.gg is a jungler's paradise. EVELYNN can do that as well, but this player, with the most appropriate name for all EVELYNN mains, likes to go solo red into Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp, Blue at a pretty decent cadence, so we'll see exactly how it plays out. The idea is, as always, farming jungler buddies to full sequence, gank and scuttle, or scuttle and gank depending on your clear speed, reset. Hey, can I gank before I sequence again? Yes, then I do it, then I sequence, and then I gank once more. Kayn, in the meantime, says, you know what? I did my red side quadrant. That was pretty juicy. Then I look bottom lane. It's like, what's a Draven? Obviously, the Draven is going to be hyper aggressive. Let me cut my clear short and gank. And that's the most important thing here. Ganking isn't dead. It just means the gankings that you do need to be significantly more intentional, well executed. And if you're going to rotate to a scenario like we just saw with the Kayn, that it is something that you're going to pay off. Now, the EVELYNN here actually goes for a little check into this area because obviously the Kayn started leashless. We should have recognized that if a Kayn goes leashless and shows to the bottom side with 12 CS and red buff, you probably did a Raptor solo start. Yeah, that's why it's good to keep this ward and slap it on this Raptor pit now so that you have that second rotation. The thing is, because the Kayn does the sequencing gaming, but he cut it short for the clear, it gives us a little bit of an advantage here. Sequence down, do the gankings, fall back here. You know you're most likely going to be able to snack that up in that process as well. And of course, if you see a kill, we can rotate to that. Again, we press tab, we see 20 CS, we see 21 CS. We know that he did this with 12, he did this, and he shows back here with blue, which means he did this blue and rotated. Now he goes up to the second spawn Raptors, the second spawn Krugs. He can reset and either look to do Wolves, Gromp, gank bottom lane, or gank bottom lane and follow those afterwards. What it does give is the EVELYNN time to say, okay, cool, I know he's going away. If my bottom lane is gankable, I'll gank it. If we can kill everybody, or they're all dead, then I could just go and counter jungle those easily, deny him because I saw him go up. And then, of course, you can swap back down here and then counter gank bottom lane. But, at the very least, it gives you the opportunity to gank a small bit before we do the next sequence. Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp. And then we can try and gank this lane earlier. Free 6, right? If you've got a lane with no TP, no basings, all that good stuff, that 5 minute 30 wave, that range there, you're going to get that 6. So you want to make sure that you're ganking it after your second sequence and just before that moment. In the case of back timers and TPs and deaths, as what happens mostly in your elos, this guy will still be 5 after your second sequence, so you can very easily go ahead and do the gank. I mean, you can see here he just dinged 5. So the Rakan and the Xayah now pushing into the Draven and the Lulu. The Kayn is the question mark, but 99% of the guy does this, resets, goes bottom side, and as I said, he can gank and then farm, or he can farm and then gank. He shows briefly. So I don't know why Lulu and Draven are putting themselves in a position to be killed, because we saw him show that it is what it is. EVELYNN, in the meantime, relax, enjoy yourself. Do a little bit of a Gromp camp. And now, can we do something about this? Of course, he moves down, and we suspect that he would, so we ping it. So now we have to go the long way over, and hopefully he doesn't ding 6. Bottom left, it's really small, but you can see it in pink. So we really want to get you before 6. Kayn just kills the Draven again. Renekton is 1 minion away. He needed the siege minion. He's going to try and go in here Look at him, he's trying to get it so he can press R. Oh, that's the beauty of this kind of sequencing. You're seeing it right at a high level. You're seeing this at a high level. Second sequence, rotate up, gank this lane again. You get the gank of bottom lane before your second sequence. You clear the vision on your way out because you avoided it, and now he's going to have to be forced to TP back in. The Kayn, for contrast, is level 4. We are going to steal and counter jungle his Raptors now because we know, based upon the timings, 2 minutes 15, when he showed up here. Now, it's a rough estimate, right? She's doing this as a rough estimate. She knows that he started here, so the second one will respawn, let's just say your 350s, okay? Early to mid 350s. Then we see him go from this gank up to this one. We assume, okay, let's just say it takes him 5 seconds, 10 seconds to take it. We add 215 to that. We can kind of just add some lead up time for us to rotate. Then we can, of course, do it again. So we show up here, we snag this away from him. That gives us the 6. The guy's going to come back down here, if he does come back down here, and be like, oh shit, I lost it. However, he decided instead to maximize his experience, which is important. Could we go here into here? Yes. What else is topside? Nothing. What's down here? RNG Scuttle, EVELYNN resetting for a red Krugs Raptors again, because again, she's sequencing bottom to top, and the bottom lane is shoved, and because they ganked so much already at form. So he was never going to show up here, from his perspective, if we're thinking like that, but the counter jungling is still good, because it gives us 6, and it denies him something, should he decide to sequence blindly. So we never know what's going to happen. If this lane was ungankable, and he just had to straight up sequence upside, he'd have no Raptor camp right now. The fact that he has time to go bottom side is okay, but EVELYNN is 6. He's nowhere near 6 because he isn't sequencing. He's down 10 CS. The EVELYNN's played it perfectly. And now she can counter gank with the ult. Yeah. The control went into the polymorph. We missed the Q, but we get the full charm off. That should be a dead Kayn. Please let it be a dead Kayn. Yes, nice little snack here. Rotation as well from the Zoe. The Draven's able to kill the Xayah. All that invest by the Kayn, just to be undone by one strategic counter gank from a farming jungler who was sequencing well and ganked with very specific intent on the lanes. Now, of course, we have the Ori ultimate into the full charm, into our QE, and of course, make sure you're hitting the rest of your hate spikes. And if you really have to auto attack, you can auto attack. You should auto attack if you need to. Just, it's very painful. You ever try kill a ward with EVELYNN? And now with EVELYNN, you always eyes up like the blue Kayn. Is there anywhere else I can go to gank? We need to wait for this timer to finish off anyway. But we decide with no ultimate, maybe to not go for that now. If the enemy jungler shows here and goes down, then maybe we can go and steal his red. That's a possible play as well. But we see instead a Quinn pushing a wave onto a Renekton dive. We can full charm this baby up. We don't have ult, so we're going to have to go in, get the burst proc, electrocute, and of course reposition using a bit of the movement speed passive that we have there. So, easy. 4-1-1 from the Kayn, from spam ganking bottom lane, which inflates the numbers, by the way. Inflates the numbers. You can be like, look at my 100% kill participation. Well, you're getting 2 kills every single time for 1 gank. That's why bottom lane ganks are good. But EVELYNN has had much more strategic sequencing with better ganking cadence. So 2 ganks here, we've had a gank here, we had a gank here for the shutdown, and it was a counter gank. That's more valuable to me. And now the Kayn, of course, has caught up in experience. But, sorry, not experience, but CS. But a CS wouldn't have been as high value as the EVELYNN's. What are we witnessing here? The EVELYNN's just doing a blue. She's level 7, obviously. Waiting for the passive. The Zoe super low. The Ori super low. We're worried about the Kayn showing up again. There we go. Okay. So we'll, of course, take these camps. We can always loop back around to snack this baby. We will have ultimate up so we can use it again. The Herald is on the map. Can we just go ahead and kill the Renekton again? Because we know Kayn's probably going to be in the top lane vicinity. At least he should be in theory. Because of all these camps. And the Renekton has an ultimate. So we need to play around that. Bait in. Keep to the wall. Activate your W. Now, if you need the slow, go for the slow. But if you don't need the slow and you want the full charm, go for it. Oh, max range. Nicely done. Give the kill to the Quinn. Kayn is going to shove. He's going to make sure he hits the Blade's Reach into the Umbral Trespass Giga Ultimate and gets the free kill himself. So, is he playing badly? No. But the EVELYNN's template is replicable. This is basically saying, can I solo start, gank this lane, and spam gank this lane because they're playing it inappropriately? Would you trust your bottom laners in these moments? Not really. I would really want to focus on my own sequencing. Like, this is what we want to replicate from the EVELYNN's perspective. The Kayn, 9 times out of 10, will do the same stuff. But bottom lane just gave themselves up and said, hey, look, gank me, I'm free. So he did it. It's the right play. Both champions have done the right thing. Now, he obviously is going to think about doing this, but we don't know this. You see the pings. because Quinn is dead and Renekton will be up first, right? Kayn has an easier time snacking this than Evelynn because he doesn't need to be camouflaged to actually do his stuff. So the Evelynn basically says, look, if he's going to take it, he's going to take it. Let me just shadow across the mid lane. But Kayn says, you know, I actually don't want to take it. It's too risky for me, considering the Lulu robes and the Orianna mid lane, so I'm not going to do it either. Quinn checks, says, hey, look, it's available. We go, okay, cool. Very nice. I like the Orianna ultimate into the stun from the Evelynn. Charm, technically. Nice. I like this. Lane ganks. Evelynn mains. You can lane gank. It's a thing. You don't always have to flank. I mean, flanking's good, but you can also, if your team has CC, run at them. Kayn now shows up at the bottom lane. We're going in here. We don't have our ultimate, so we do have to be very cautious. Kayn's ultimate is not available because he just used the top lane. We all Lulu ult ourselves, basically, and basically say, you know, maybe you should leave. Evelyn's in the area. A little bit of a handshake. Draven now is level 7. 91 CS. What's the cash money gold here? We got 5k on Draven, 4k on Xayah, despite all of that. Despite all of the kills and all of the ganks and all of the dives, Draven has the lead. Fascinating. One good counter gank for a shutdown. Does so many good things. Now, of course, we have lost the Hextech Dragon. It is what it is. We knew we were going to be losing objectives. The Kayn's going for a big dive here onto the Draven, but we know the Evelyn's in the area, so she's able to get a kill on the Rakan. And now we don't have ultimate up. We don't quite have flash up. We really want to chase, but that's a 90% slow, so that's huge from the Kayn. Good disengage. 611 Prowler's Claw activated. Ionian Boots purchased. Mana alive. What's this? Anyway, so what I was gonna say is watch how long it takes her to do the Evelynn, baby. What I was gonna say is watch how long it takes us to do the control ward with the auto attacks and why it's dangerous with a Kayn in the area because he can just kill us. Fortunately, we have a Lulu difference. Then he decides to overcommit and die, and then of course we see the lazy back from the Xayah and we punish that as well, which is what you always should do. Always punish the lazy backs, but yeah, that didn't play out as in the way I thought it was going to. That was funny though. I enjoyed myself. So another Rakan roams mid lane because of course everyone else is dead bottom lane. We have a super low Zoe here. We will have ultimate up again very soon. It is up actually right now. Rockaball 23 stacks plus Sorks. Can we get involved here? Let's have a look. We should be able to. And she has exhaust, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Out of range too. So always look for these pickoffs, and now we can hold the wave a little bit. The experience reduction is important for gankers who spam and don't farm and they get their catch up. It's not an issue for us. Still normal things to do. We know this is up, we know this is up, we know this is up, we know this is up. If you anticipate that the Kayn will go for that Herald, and you're basically like, well, I don't think I can do it solo, I can test it, I'm going to leave it up for him. Focus to the other lane, position yourself to take an equal and opposite objective, the Dragon versus the Herald. Get the full charm, we know that Desire is an ultimate, give it to the Draven. How juicy and nice. Now, of course, we can take this Dragon. Meantime, Kayn should be on this. I was like, why isn't it dead already? Was he not thinking about this? It's pre-14 minutes. We see the Evelynn here. We know she could show up. Do you beat her 1v1, yes or no? Make the decision. Can I do this if she shows? I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a wasted opportunity. No one taking a Herald for plates. Either way. I understood the Evelynn giving it up. I don't know why the Kayn didn't even think about trying to cheese it and snack it. Because he's Kayn. You just QE over the wall. Here we go. Make sure you hit the slow, as I said, if you don't need it. And then ult to reposition with the execute kill. Rakan says, whoa, you died, man. It's true, she did. Kayn now flanking here after doing the Herald. We are level 10. Look at this. Level 10 top, level 10 top. Level 11 mid, we're almost, well, we're not quite almost, but we're level 10. Within touching distance. We're level ahead of ADCs, 2 level ahead of ADCs. The experience was always there. But we weren't incentivized to do camps gold-wise. And because you got so much experience from kill catch-up and kill experience, there was no real need for us. There's no real need for us, actually, to invest in the farming, because it was basically like saying, well, I guaranteed this much experience farming, but if I just sit in lane ganking, it just keeps going higher and higher, right? And I get fed laners too. So now the shift is obviously going to be, if you want to invest in your lanes and get them ahead and get yourself sort of going, you can do that. But you're not going to have the same experience as someone who's able to gank well within their sequencing and get all of that CS as well. Kayn is one of those champions, right? Like, I'm not saying Kayn isn't. He is, obviously, but just as a general principle. The sad thing about Evelynn W's, you press it, they see you, they run away, and you basically have to say, well, I guess I don't get the kill. Sad times. Take the Raptor camp. Rakan's now top lane with the Renekton. We have here the Xayah versus the Draven. Kayn chose top lane as well. And now, of course, we have Herald. So, you don't have the tower pushing... we don't have Herald. Excuse me. Kayn has the Herald. We should have the Herald. I wish we had a Herald here. Normally, you would just hit this anyway. I think we could have afforded just to do this. Yeah? She's pink. I thought she had the Herald for a second. But yeah, that's it. Perfect. Because you can still smack it at a decent degree. And if you go Lich Bane, if you're a Lich Bane enthusiast, then you can smack a lot harder. But just because you're not a typical tower hitter doesn't mean you can't go ahead and do it. So, just like I hit the microphone. Draven out's pushing up this turret. Leverage this into counter jungling to steal all the camps. She's somebody who comes back to the lane. The lead in the mid game is looking to be very good for us. So despite all of the Kayn focus in the bottom lane, didn't really do anything, did it? Evelynn takes over. Evelynn controls. Rakan shows up here. We're going to make sure we get the full rocket belt. And Kayn will show up here. We'll have to reposition with our R. We're up 3 levels on the Kayn now. 3 levels because of that whole sequence of camps. Did you see that? The counter jungling was easy. 20% damage reduction gone. We're able to push waves. We're able to steal camps, take our own camps. Well, he could still do that. Oh, thank goodness for Lulu. But he can still do that when there's no Lulu. Yeah. Full charm activation. Prowler's Claw activation on his response. And that should be a dead one if he goes back in here. 3 Qs. E for the heal. Watch the Zoe bubble. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Who wants to go in? I can still kill you with a QE. Like she's waiting for someone to go for the QE and no one wants to go in and then Draven's going to catch up. Nice bait. But Draven dies. There we go. And we have the W slow. Zoe's super weak. We're going to go back in here, force a cleanse. Reposition again. Nice in and out gameplay using the E movement speed passive. Huge, 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 huge. When it hits the knockback, we get the kill. Chef's kiss. Beautiful in and out gameplay. Nice bait. This is why everyone's going to be strong, because an assassin who gets gold leads from camps, gold leads from the ganks before and after sequences and the flow afterwards, experience leads because of the sequences and the fact that ganking junglers or people who invest too much in ganking don't get anything. Assassins who have that are always going to be very, very strong. Very strong. And it's adding to the fact that no one can see us. And we can shred them with a full charge W and just one-shot them without it. Total kid. Total kid. Rocket Belt 25 stacks. Here we go. Full charge. We chuck it in case just to slow him and we'll get the full charge. There we go. Right. Kayn. Now, it's deserved, I suppose. I mean, he did get fed. Like, he did get kills. He just didn't really get the advantages for his lanes that he thought he did. And you saw the Evelynn give kills to the Draven. He went up. Will he go for this? Be dumb to. Be really dumb to. Draven pushing up past the vision line. Zoe catching this wave here. We're back to base. We have the death cap. That's what we want. That's what we want. Next dragon is available. I think we want to snack it up as well. Rakan showing on the bottom lane here. So, mid-game stuff. Take, cut in, or take, cut, and go down, depending on which direction you want to go. There's no Baron on the map here, so we can easily go Raptors, Krugs, and gank the bottom lane once I've pushed in. We can also go Krugs, Raptors to shadow our mid lane pressure, and then join our team. We can also go Krugs and just kill the split pusher. Those are your 3 mid-game farming options. Oh, hello, Kayn, with the Edge of Night, which you 100% need, because otherwise you die. We're just going to flash and snack that kill. The Edge of Night does nothing against the Evelynn charm. When Rakan goes back in there, we'll get the kill from the auto attack on the Quinn. Now we have the polymorph. Nice chain down slow. Draven's flanking the Zoe. She's going to flash over the wall. And she dies as well. Should be a free dragon. Really showcases why Evelynn is super duper good. Really showcases why she's the best jungler in this current meta. For people who want to solo carry, mind you. Hecarim will be good, Karthus will be good, other junglers will be good, there will be other best junglers. But this game, and the game you're going to see afterwards that I accidentally recorded that she lost, but she didn't lose because of her. A little bit because of her, but also just because of the nature of the team comp. But it's going to be interesting to see the comparison. Here you've got a runaway snowball with the game plan, and then the next one you've got a comeback. She actually makes the comeback multiple times, but the loss is due to one thing, and it's really interesting to see, but she's still overall very, 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 very strong. So we'll chain the kills together, we'll hit the inhib, and we should basically see another pick or an FF at this point, and then we'll jump to our second game, showcasing slight differences But for context, I recorded it as the only video, so you'll get the same introduction, the same promotions for all my stuff. Sorry about that. I'm just sticking it at the end of this one because it's value, and hopefully you can enjoy that as well. It's all time-stamped. But apologies if I repeat a few concepts. Hopefully it's good for your mind and you can see a different sort of scenario. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next video starting now, otherwise the next video on Friday. Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have the new 13.5 jungle. That's right, finally, laner experience leeches have been eradicated. Jungle farmers are getting more gold and experience than ever before. Well, ever since Season 12, as it were. And now, of course, that means it's an EVELYNN meta. And I don't mean that lightly. I mean that she's been pretty good the whole time so far, because she's one of those champions who can obviously go leashless. Can obviously do Raptors Krugs Red into a full-on nice level 6 sequence Gige Lube. But in a ganking meta whereby she needs to gank a lot, she can do that as well because of the camouflage post 6. However, when you decide to give someone like EVELYNN, Karthus, Hecarim, level 6 spiking farming junglers, even more gold in the jungle after you buff their experience and really pull back the experience on the gankers who are just kind of mindlessly running into lanes, they end up being quite strong. So what we're going to see in this game is, will EVELYNN be able to carry this game against a Qiyana who I showed there, just got recently buffed as well this patch. It seems that they can never let her be down too long before she's brought back a little bit. We'll see how long that lasts and how win rate looks. But, you know, I found a lot of stomps, obviously, and I decided, hey, for this one, let's look at a situation where the gold graph does this and then goes like this in our favor. And we're going to have to play accordingly. We're going to have 90% KP, do the most damage. We're going to have to carry our team. And always that's the most interesting thing. If you're spam ganking jungler, you feed all your lanes. If you're farming jungler sequences, someone who plays around 6, how do you have 90% KP while your laners are at the whims of a ganking jungler, snowballing ganking jungler? So we will look at all of that and more as EVELYNN finishes up her full clear 306 leashless, by the way, so that's a good reference point for those of you who like to play the champion. Red Krugs Raptors, into your Wolves Blue for good sequencing, Wolves Gromp for good sequencing, and then of course into the blue buff. Obviously you would have seen the free jungle improvement PDF, Virkayu.gg, courses for every single MMR all happening this month. Get your free stuff, get your courses, get your coaching, get your Life Companions GG guide. Basically, that is a hub for junglers. I'm going to make it and flush it out with all the information you need. So if you're in gold, diamond, platinum, bronze, you want master, you want diamond, you want gold, that's the way to go for you. All that information in one place. Now, EVELYNN finishes off with Scuttle Crab here. Now, we have a ward here. We see the Qiyana shop, and we say 24 CS, no blue. That means she left her blue on the map because she sequenced down. This ward here is great. Not hugely necessary, but, you know, that's fine. And what I like here is that this is the kind of ganking cadence we need. Sorry, it's not the coaching channel where I pause too much because people like the flow. We can use the map scaling to get around any vision that we know exists, especially in a pushed up lane, right? Now the Zoe disrespects this possibility. Also, we saw this happen, so that's huge. However, EVELYNN is going to be floating down from base here with a Darkseer plus an Emptom. Not the most extravagant base, but with someone with that name, I'm sure they were looking for more, but it do be this way. Now, Qiyana for some reason overcommits here, gets full charmed and gets killed, because as soon as the ganking jungler isn't able to get something off before the enemy jungler who's a farmer is able to full sequence, scuttle, reset, and come back down for the second rotation clear, they're doomed. Because the Qiyana should have looked for something more proactive in the bottom lane, but if the Kai'Sa Zoe has poke pressure here, is able to hold this, she can't just walk down and gank it, right? They'll back up. So she has to go round or through walls to get a good angle. And yes, Zoe disrespected it, but you just take that. You take the flash, you take the subs that you get burned, and you leave. Because you still have this on the map, and you know that the EVELYNN's coming back for this, and then obviously try to get a gank off from the top lane before level 6. Now, obviously the dude hasn't gone back to base, right? We've got unspent cash money gold going on here. We also have the fact that there's no TPs being used or whatever, which means he's gonna dink 6 really, really close. Like, this wave is 6 right here. This is the wave, right? That 5-minute wave, that's the level 6. Gonna be dinging it just before level 5 minutes 30 or 5 minutes 30 on the dot. He does get it. EVELYNN shows up, but he has the ult now. Do we have the damage to burst him out? What does he decide to do? He decides to go CC immune and try and turn this. And EVELYNN's like, I better flash. But the Quinn is able to get the kill. You see what I'm saying? As a farming jungler, if you can full sequence, scuttle, reset, counter gank, full sequence again, and gank this lane pre-6. Now, worth noting, this will happen in elos, and most elos where there's a lot of 1v1 fisting, there's deaths, there's TPs, there's chunks, they get ganked. you know, that won't be a 6. Like, they'll be hitting 6 now at 6 minutes. But in a perfect wave and high elo, you're looking at that zone of 5 minutes to 6 minutes where they're going to be hitting 6. Can I try and leverage a gank there? Ideally before that exact moment, which you saw. We're a little bit slow because we had to rotate to this kill, but it would have been beautiful to get that before he hit 6. Can you imagine the juice from that? And now he has got to go back to base. Quinn gets 6. She can run bot lane. It just snowballs the whole top lane. It's so beautiful. It's good to watch. Now, the Qiyana really had to get ahead of that because if she doesn't, as you can see here, because now it's like you've got your blue on the map after your death, you've got the whole resequence. Everyone's going to go back to the mid lane here. Oh, back first time. We land the full charm. We get the ult execute. We dodge the aggro. We bounce. Beautifully done. Excellent acknowledgement that the Kassadin had no ultimate available and had no flash charge to avoid that full-on charge W. Because if he does, what you want to do is hit the slow. You don't want to fully charge a W because you know he's going to escape. So at the very least, if I can slow him, then he ults away or flashes. He's still slowed thereafter. I can gap close and maybe still get the kill. But in this case, with nothing up, it's a free full charge, an absolute free kill. Qiyana's now desperately looking for kills in the bottom lane. Everyone's basically saying, hey, cool, let me swap to the top side again because I know this guy's no ultimate. Now we can definitely use a full charge on that thing. Oh, wait, his ult is up again. Goodness gracious. I mean, I would not have called that as well. I think you're 100% going back to the top lane here knowing that it's probably not up, but there you go. It has been actually 100 seconds. I mean, that's wild. It's wild, isn't it, how quickly the game can flow? Well then, don't we look silly? It happens. I mean, it's the same thing with anything in game. You're kind of tracking the ult in your head, and you're like, nah, it's not up yet. Like, I know it's 100-ish seconds, right? Like, it's not going to be up again. That's actually quite a low cooldown for rank 1. I mean, for context, Evelyn's is at 120 seconds. So you'd think that it would be down longer, just in relation to your own ultimate, but it was up. You go, oops, okay, now I know that's in the database. Next time I face an Olaf. Just my predictions, but good repeat gank, good idea overall. And now, of course, the Evelynn is really, really fed, and the Kassadin is not. He's 0-0. Kennen with the fresh buffs as well. Hextech, Flash, plus Cleanse. We have the Drowsy from the Zoe support, and now Evelynn can basically carry on sequencing. So this is where it gets interesting. We do our red. We go into the Raptors here. We can sneak on down to the Krugs and then use that for a bottom lane gank. Or we can cut into the mid lane, skip the Krugs, because the intent now is to take this, or even better, invade the Qiyana top side, because obviously, as you would have seen, she took the dragon while we were busy doing that stuff on the top side. And now, of course, now you can chill, relax, and wait for the stun. We have the Quinn as well looking, but Kassadin, he's a smart one, isn't he? Look at him. Something's a fish. Something is going weird. Something smells like toes. Now, the Quinn just goes into the jungle here. This is what Quinn does, and chases the Qiyana away. So Evelynn says, hey, can I join you? Do we go and take the red buff? No, we go and kill the Qiyana. Is she around here? Use your camouflage. Where is she? Let's have a look, actually. She's just basing. Very good discipline to go base there. Olaf, now we know that ultimate will be up again because, again, it's been like, it's not a high cooldown. 100 seconds. Like 20 seconds in League of Legends makes a big difference. So we missed that Q, so we lose the bonus damage proc, but we have the cannon there. Of course, with Olaf using that R, the idea is to burst him out, right? You're not going to CC him. You just have to use your damage profile. Now, obviously, the Kassadin will push this one, and we can go back to sequencing. So, good first rotation, right? We look for a gank, nothing. Back to base, gank first, then rotate again, then gank after. So, before your rotation, you gank. After you rotate, after you sequence, you gank again. Always before and after. And now we can start to look for a bit more flow stuff, like, hey, can I go mid lane? Yes, cool. Hey, can I go back top lane? Yes, cool. Can I go back to base? Yes. I know that she took this. She's probably going top side, so I'm going to skip the Krugs to red Raptors, cut through for a look. Maybe we can invade, which we do, because we created prior for the Quinn. Then we go ahead and snack the Olaf once more, and we fall back down. We know that this is going to be something we want to do, but Kennen obviously was not in a position to help us there, and we want the Quinn to get denial first and foremost. So we can fall back to our blue side here, snack these camps, and then do a little loop path back onto it. Now, that was a speed run, a summary, and of course, list of the goals we wanted to achieve as a farming jungler, but also why everyone's so damn good in this meta, because that's the perfect way to play. That's sequencing with that amount of ganking pressure. She can gank, anyone can gank, more than a ganking jungler if you just use that kind of framework. And now again, the loop path concept, just to explain in a second here, the ult now should be down. So we will get the full charm. We don't have ult available, but we do have smite if we need to use it. Ideally, we don't need to. We force his flash here. We have an E proc. There we go. Qiyana's snacking away the Herald in the background, which is good. This is a great little sneak. If you're in the Qiyana situation, and you know that Evelynn doesn't want to coin flip a Baron right now, and a Herald right now while Quinn's pushing top, and Kennen's gone back to base. She doesn't want to sit there and become susceptible to a Qiyana R over the wall. That threat is too big. you can just go over the wall and snack it yourself. So that's a nice sneak from the Kiana. Terrible game, being destroyed by the Evelynn, but at the very least, she is getting objectives. So it's at least something in her direction. Now the Evelynn is at 15 stacks, 15 pets, and the Kiana is at 14. Don't hold this wave, because again, we don't care about the leeching experience. Look for a kill, although then, if you want, you can take the experience. I thought we were going to go probing a little bit more, but, you know, the support's got mid lane. Yeah, just take the wave. Whatever. I was trying to justify it, but you know how that happens. Kassadin in the meantime is fighting. There's always roaming. We say, hey, can we translate for a free kill, cash money? See, this time we don't go for the full charge. We did hit the full charge, but that was not the intent. The intent was to slow, so he couldn't go back into the cannon. Unfortunately, he has flash up. So here, of course, we're looking for cheese if they're all based. And yes, hold the wave. But ideally with Evelynn, this is the great style. I made a video. Oh, man alive. My channel grew initially on Evelynn content. I know the champion. The end of 2017, there's the first like organic turbo blow up, you know what I mean? Like 200k turbo blow up. However, I released the gameplay in the January subsequent, so January 2018, and it was very much a case of floating from side to side once you've done 2-3 sequences and had a few good kills and you're quite strong. You know, hey, look, can I hold this and kill this? Oh, look, Gank is here. Can I kill this? Can I float back and kill this? And in between that, you would do quadrants and kind of sequence. But the idea was to keep using your pressure and your camouflage to really disorientate lanes. You know, like he just comes back into this lane after being killed. We're going to go back in here for the kill. Woo. Be cautious. And now, of course, we're going to heal up because, yes. The Herald is being used bottom lane. We're going to snack all those plates. The Dragon is spawning. The Annie, Kiana, and Ezreal pushing this. Again, we have a huge lead. So snack a camp. Obviously, heal yourself up. And then I'll go have a look. Get level 9 if you need it, but we already have it. Bubble hits. Kiana is going to move. Activate the full charm. Quinn will rotate as well. Don't go backline here if you're afraid of death from the Tibbers. And obviously wait, bide your time. There we go. That's nicely done. You see, you always want to ensure as the assassin, you're going in at the right moment. I like the fact that we didn't try and flank and deep dive this, get Tibbers and killed. And we decided to instead loop, wait. Killed the Annie. Excuse me. Let me show you that as well. We always wait for the right angle. To go in, maximize kill threat, maximize damage. Go out again, reposition, and then go in when your cooldowns are off. In and out gameplay, flanking, and hitting the right targets. Assassin basics. And from this, we can kill conversion ratio. Free Dragon. Now, of course, we were down in gold. Now we're basically just a little bit ahead. So that comeback there with the shutdown on the bottom lane is absolutely huge. Well, shutdown. We need to kill the Ezreal first and foremost. But you see the 5 plates here? You see the plates here? We got 3 here. You know, we got 1.5 here. Like, that adds up when your bottom lane has none. We only have 2. And, of course, yeah, we're kind of equal on the Quinn. But the bottom lane is at a huge deficit. 6.5 to 4.4k gold for the Ezreal to the Kai'Sa, respectively. Because we didn't focus that lane. And even though the Kiana wasn't able to do much, she has 2 assists. She helped bottom lane. She shadowed. She was there. It has an impact. And we chose to feed our top laner, which you might think is a little strange, but it doesn't really matter if that's the best gankable lane for you, you know what I mean? Here's the shutdown on the Ezreal. Are we going to reposition for this? Of course, good control would in the lane, so now the Evelynn can't do that, excuse me. Yeah. So, you might think, well, I've been told it's about ganking meta. Well, the meta just shifted. It's about your gold and experience in the mid to the late game, and we're hitting the 50-minute point now. Look at this. Olaf is 10, Quinn is 10, we're 10, Kennen is 10. How different does that feel compared to what we've had so far this season? Nice, isn't it? And it's because that experience was always there. They didn't buff our jungle experience this patch. What they did is enable us to counter jungle where necessary and incentivize us to sequence more. But that experience was already there. What they've given us is the gold in return. And of course, the problem was, when we did this, the enemy jungle would just gank and leech waves and be the same level as us. And it never felt good. They'd be down 50 CS and that would be the reality. Now we're incentivized to farm a bit more, and it's going to pay off in the mid and the late game, especially when we're this fed with this many kills, and we've been sequencing decently. We're only down 15 CS in the mid lane now. So, Ken takes our Krugs, goes to the bottom lane. Now we're fed. Nothing else is up except for Raptors and buffs. Do we really care about those things? No. Again, we press the W charm, but Annie puts the control wood. Well played. I mean, that's what she's meant to do. So we fall back down to the Raptors. We have the red. We can always flex down to this. Is there an objective on the map that we would be losing if we made that play? Like this, like a Baron or a Herald? Nope. So I can afford to try it. Zoe's just going to keep poking. Those anti-buffs, though. Those anti-buffs really brought back the Season 3 anti-support. We really want 11 first. I think you could justify doing blue. I think you could justify doing blue first, just to get that 11 if possible, and then trying to get a different angle of approach, because clearly this isn't working. Although Cassidy moves to the mid lane, so now we're not going to have that luxury. Always react and rotate first. He's a little bit low. That control ward is really biting. Olaf's coming down. He has ult plus ghost plus flash. So we use our W as a zoning tool. Force back. Counter shot. Oh! Sorry that you had to witness this. I'm sorry that I had to witness this. I'm grossly offended by that. You see, when the lack of patience happens, it only works if your team follows. They do follow. Good job, team. And now we reposition and heal up, and our team will die for this. We're going to hit the full enchant on the Kiana, and now Quinn is being chased down. Kais is going to show up here, level 10. Zoe's not in this fight at all. She hits a little bit of stuff, and we're nearsighted, obviously. It just reminds me of Gray's W, but we'll take the nearsighted from the Quinn. Yep, nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. So we farm. Now, they haven't forced this engage. Tibbers comes out. We're forced to ult out. Reposition once our spells are up and we heal up a little bit, regain our camouflage. Our team follows. We get 2 kills. And then everyone gets chased down and killed because they know everyone's blown her load and she's out of the... She's out of the fight. Yeah, you know, it's tough with Evelynn. Anything you say that even remotely... you know what I mean. So, she's also going Void Staff second, by the way. I mean, I'm not going to say anything. So basically, the Kennet's now going down to the bottom lane here. We have the Krugs respawning. Zoe's over here killing the Vision level 7 to level 9. So the Zoe's lost out pretty big. This is a good objective snack. As soon as these fights are lost, the best thing is not to go monkey with them and die. I don't understand that logic. Sometimes it's good for 5 monkeys to group up and do monkey things and throw shit at one target. But if everyone's going to guarantee die, what's the point? Like, you can make that risk assessment as Evelynn, go, you know what? That doesn't sound so good. Why are you walking down there, buddy boy? Because she could very easily flash Rocket Bell, hit that full charm, and kill you. But she's walking to the Annie. So good restraint by the Evelynn, actually. See, even I'm getting a little overzealous. It's really, really tough in game to be patient here. It's really, really tough. The Evelynn, as you saw just now, got a little bit impatient and went all in. Here, I got a little bit impatient. I'm like, can we just kill him? Because you just have to hold. You have to hold. It's really tough. But the patient players, the patient junglers, will be the winning junglers. Ah, we have numbers advantage. So, 2 here, 2 down here. We see the cannon there. The Kiana we thought was going to go for a second. And he face checks, flashes over the wall, so we don't even get that kill. Now the Cassidon's going in on the Zoe, trying to get that kill. The Kiana finally goes over the wall and hits a nice ultimate, kills the Quinn. The Evelynn's forced to flash disengage. Fortunately, we got the flash there from the Annie, but yeah, this is a tough stuff. This is where the patient assassination gameplay comes in. The control ward is great in the middle lane. We cannot break this. We cannot break this, and it's really compromising us. So, as Evelynn, what do? Try and fight the dragon. Gonna have to give that. Cassin's got pressure bot side. You can still split push a little bit. Do it. Do it. Steal some camps. Do a split push. Do a funny. Go hit this with a Lichbane or something like that if you're a Lichbane gamer. There are things you can do. And the most important thing here is don't overstay as an Evelynn. You're not like a 1v1 split push machine. So if you can just kind of force a pressure rotation by someone, just push a little wave out a little bit, extend the vision line so you can fall back to your camps again, that's fine. You know, but don't like overcommit here unless you know everyone's dead. Or it's season 4 and you have Feral Flare, Blade of the Rune King, Random Omen. And you're the old Evelynn with that ult. You go into the back line. You'd ult with the hate spikes, like these big spikes out of the ground. You get a big ass shield, and you just auto-attack them because you were a hybrid champion back then. Yeah, that's why people, I mean, I played both. I loved the rework, so, I mean, I easily got 300k plus really quickly after the rework came out, so I was happy with it, but you can see why some other players would think differently. Especially with the movement speed boost. Movement speed. Little spit. You would do a little twirl and go, choo! Really cute. Okay, now we have, the Quinn versus Cassadina. We have here the Annie clearing the vision control, and again, like super patience, right? We have the Void stuff because we've got the Olaf with the Hex Drinker, we've got the Kiana with the Hex Drinker, we've got the Cassidon with Mercury Treads, and we have the Ezra with the Maw of Mortius. So, in this particular case, could you justify a Shadow Flame? You could, but I think the straight Void regular Giga True Damage is exactly what we want to be nailing down here, and this control, can someone clear it other than us? Like, we're just hovering. There's no camps on the map. We can't split push. We have decent CSPM. We're looking at 6.5. He steps up, kill him. Oh, the exhaust and Hextring and Timber's flash. Like, that's how you feel when you play Evelynn. But you can see why she's good in the meta, right? This thread is insane. This thread is insane. Like, we just burned an exhaust, Tibbers, you know? And that's great. Now we can do it again with 70 seconds on our ultimate hunter. But oh my goodness. You can see why Evelynn gets super duper strong over enemy junglers because of how easy it is to gank, sequence gank, float, flow, rotate, secure objectives when necessary, and then just basically remove priority targets. But it does require extreme patience. Now, if we go bottom side here, we're going to lose the Baron, ladies and gentlemen. You make this play, you're losing the Baron, just so you know. If you want to get really impatient and you just say, look, I'm going to kill the Kassadin because he's 13, I don't want him to get 16, I'm a little bit afraid. You know, it's an Ezreal. Okay, well, Zoe dies anyway, so we're going to lose the Baron as it is. Now we better kill the Kassadin. Goodness gracious, finally. You float up and steal. Can you even float up and steal? Is there time to float up and steal? Now, if I was a Mundo, I'm pushing this with my top laner. Like, we're just pushing turrets. Push the wave deep into their base. You know, like, it's an Ezreal who's fed, it's an Olaf, it's an Annie. Like, it's a kind of tough nugget to crack. Evelynn doesn't have the same split push component, but maybe we can chase them down here. Oh, that's a lazy base. That's a lazy base. Who wants to die? There we go. There's one. Remember to throw out your W to get that slow so you can actually get that kill before Tibbles kills you. The Kiana cancel the base. Kai'Sa's going to go in here, try and get that kill. She does have R as well, so she can reposition. Hexdrinker goes off. Hexdrinker, Mortius goes off. Nice. So we'll take the double kill. So if I'm a split pusher god here with my champion, like a Rengar or Mundo, and I kill the Kassadin, I say, look, they got this. Maybe I can clean up. But what if they just all go back to base like human beings and I get nothing? So I might as well boom, boom, shove up to here, snack all, deep ward whatever I have, pull back and take this, back to base, because they're going to push this out now, move through here and be like, oh shit, all my stuff's gone, try and steal your shit from here, but that's also gone. And now you can go top side, take this, catch this top wave, you see? And you stay in the game. They have the gold lead again now, red team, by the way, and they stay in the game. And that's the most important thing, because you keep getting yourself strong and denying their ability to take that stuff away from you. And so that would have been a better play if you're a tower-hitting champion. Evelynn, not so much. For her, it's better to rotate, swoop, and use your high base passive movement speed to get some cleanup kills, which of course we did. And now, right, the enemy team is kind of coalesced in the mid lane here. This is shoved up nicely, so we do have time here to quickly kill the Olaf. You will have his ultimate up. So basically, we're trying to get the shred there, which of course we will, and then he'll ult, he'll get the... Oh my goodness gracious. A lot of damage from the Evelynn. It's a lot of damage. So as soon as the enemy team is Baron, and they try to 1-3-1, and the 3 position in a weird way, or 3 are positioned in a strange way, and the other one just isn't there, kill the split pusher. Now you can use a little bit of pressure yourself. Someone's going to have to come and deal with it at some point. And you kind of deny their whole Baron split push because now we're Evelynn with 1 dead, Kassadin splitting top lane, we have the dragon spawning, they have 2, we have 1. You know, it's tough for them. It's tough for them because now we have 5v4 advantage, so we need to use it. We're going to try and get that full charm in the Annie. We use our rocket belt for that, but she again flashes. Kiana shows up, Quinn and Kennen kill the Kassadin, perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for, right? 2v1 on that other split pusher. Kiana goes way too deep, gets exhausted. Now everyone can maybe chase down. We activate a W. We're just using it as a zoning tool so we can snack away this dragon if possible. And you know what? If we don't want the dragon, then we can just turn and kill because Kassadin's dead. Tivers will rinse and destroy the Quinn. Why we... Like, why the... Okay, well, I guess it's a bait. There we go. I know Annie has no flash. So I'm just to make sure I can get that kill guaranteed. Olaf shows up here. We have no ult now. Yeah. That's inevitable. Can our team clean up? Like, the idea is to shove so that we can do because we have numbers. But, you know, sometimes things just play out in a terrible way and it's solo queue and you're Evelynn, you set a trap, you kill the Tibbers, you ult out, but now the Olaf will chase you down because they have a regular team comp and you've got Quinn top lane. I mean, to be fair, we did camp it. But also, we got ourselves fed, so we'll take it. But again, oof, 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 oof. We're at 3k gold here. So by now you've probably realized, because this video is super duper long and I've introduced this video by saying she loses, and then this whole video I was talking about, hey, she's gonna make the comeback. She did make the comeback, we did everything possible, but that one death here, because we overcommitted to kill the Annie, causes the Olaf to kill her, allowing him to get the dragon and basically to shove in. What we're gonna look back at now is, firstly, obviously I opened the wrong game. There was two very similar games. There were two very similar games with a comeback mechanism, and I downloaded both replays, and when I started to record, I opened the wrong one. And that's where we are here. But it's also good to see, why did we lose this game? And everything we've done is perfect, right? We could totally win this game. But look at the Annie placing these control words. This patience is going to get the better of us. Look at this here. The death here is going to cost us. And now because the Annie's putting those control words down, they have stuns, they have CC. The Kiana doesn't deserve to win. But the Evelynn must also play it perfectly. 60% of games you have total control over winning, right? 20% of games are just lost due to trolls and terrible situations that you have no control over whatsoever. But the other 20% are you either playing perfectly, making one mistake and you lose, or you playing terribly, and you're making one good play and you win. It can go both directions and anywhere in between. In this game, we've played very, very well. But this one death, this one mistake cost us an Ocean Dragon. Now we're being shoved in. Now our Ken is being flanked to Kassadin, who's level 16. We've tried our best to make the game work, but that one death, that one relinquishing of pressure has caused the Kassadin 16, has allowed him to split push and get that lead. And because we used our ultimate to kill the Annie, and because we wasted our flash and ultimate in different scenarios when we shouldn't have, it gave the enemy the opportunity to kill us that one time, and that was all the game needed to end. And it's not fair that we lose these games. I fully agree with you, it's not fair, it's a bot lane gap 100%, but it showcases to you how Evelynn is super duper strong, how you can play the game to get yourself ahead and basically be ready to carry any game. Because if you play like this every game, or in the first game, every single game, you will always be in a position to win more than not. And that's it. However, that one mistake sometimes can really cost you, and that's it.